All right. Hopefully somebody else pops in, but if not, we'll just go with what we have. So this week is week 6, and we're looking this week at what colleges want in students and financing college. It's also our binder check number 2. We have a team bonding activity that we'll do, and then some resources available for you. So moving on. Um, First off, little business. So, um, I'd like you to share one new or good thing that's happened to you in the past week.
Um, One good thing that's happened to me is uh, I got to go visit some family out of town. So I got to go see my family um, in Salt Lake. So that was good.
Cool. It's always a nice drive to get down there. I'm assuming you drove.
Yeah.
Cool. My new thing that happened to me this week was I got to go and spend all day yesterday at the Canyon County Courthouse because I was on jury duty.
Oh, really? That's
Yeah.
cool.
And in fact, I was like one of there's, over 50 people that were in my particular group. And I was one of 6 that was chosen to be on the jury. So I had to stay there all day and sit for a jury. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah, it was interesting. It was nothing big, a little domestic squabble that I had to decide who was right and who was wrong. But that was an interesting new thing that I had going on this week. So now I'm behind in grading and everything else, but
Oh,
but it was fun.
yeah.
So a couple of reminders for this week. Tonight is the FAFSA night at school. So there's a link that was sent out to you on how to get onto that. If you can't go into Boise yourself, do you have any questions on that?
Nope.
Okay. All right. The other thing is, from doing your learning team how important it is that everybody shows up. Was it hard to do your tutorial with just you and
Kylie?
yeah, just the 2 of you?
Yeah, it was a little awkward.
Okay. Yeah. So it just shows it's really, really important that everybody is joining in on those learning team assignments and contributing. It just makes it so much easier. Many minds make light work. So I encourage people to get on and do your learning team assignments and do them on the week that they're assigned and don't put those off. One other thing with this week being the binder check, and I know one of the nice things is the pacing charts, but it can also be a struggle. And in my discussions with some of the other AVID teachers, they brought up some things that some of their AVID students are doing, and that is that instead of writing the specific date when they are completing a lesson or an assignment, what they do is they go in and highlight the assignments that they have completed. So I think that might be an easier way for you to keep those pacing charts up to date, is just look at where you're at and try it like on a weekly basis to go in and mark, highlight any of the assignments that you've already completed so that you can show that those lessons are done. On Thursday, I sent out an email to you yesterday from the principal, and we're going to do an AVID share Thursday at 2:00. There's a link in that email. So if you have anything you want to share about AVID, likes, dislikes, it's a great opportunity to voice your opinions. Come and hear what other people are saying. It will be all 3 AVID groups. So it will be our 9th and 10th grade group, our junior group, and then the senior group that is able to share with the principal what's going on in AVID and what they like, what you don't like. We are working on getting the curriculum for Q3 in place, and we have to have that turned in by Christmas break. So we need to get that going. Holiday party. There is a holiday party at the Boise office on Thursday of next week from 3 to 6 p.m. If you're around, I encourage you to come into that. I might even pop in for a little bit after I pick up my kids and just say hi. So it's a great chance to meet some other people. I know they're going to have some prizes and some fun stuff going on in there. So if you can make it, I would put it on your calendar. So as far as the lessons go this week, lesson 13 is on what colleges want, and it's going to give you an opportunity to really delve into college applications and what are the different types of colleges looking for. What can you do to increase your odds of getting into college? And then look at what exactly happens after you apply for college. So after you send in your application, what happens to that application? There's a couple of activities that go with lesson 13. There's a college match activity, and then you have a video assignment and some workbook questions. But it's really a pretty fun lesson for you. Lesson 14 is on financing college, which kind of goes along with the FAFSA stuff. We didn't really plan that, but it just kind of fell that way to have FAFSA week the same week as your financing college lessons. So in the lesson, you learn about the benefits of going and getting some kind of training post high school, and then the costs that are associated with going to college or any going beyond high school. And then there's some information in there on some different ways for you to pay for college. There are workbook questions and discussion questions with lesson 14, and then there's also the week 6 binder check. So that's what we have to look forward to this week. The learning team activity for this week, I'd like you in your Hangouts to reach out for help on something Avid related. Or if you don't need help with anything Avid related, offer some help to your classmates. Hey, if you need help setting up your binder, I've got some great ideas. I can help you out with that. Let me know. Would be one. If you how to fill out the GPA calculator, that's another one. We do still have some new students in here that are new to Avid and are a bit behind. So it's a good idea to reach out to those. You do need to reply to a minimum of 2 of your teammates' posts, and you must have at least 3 entries in your team Hangouts for credit. And one thing I want to note is I have gone back through in courseware, and where you submit your learning team activities, I've made sure that I have included the directions from the recordings and from our live sessions as to what exactly the learning team activity was for that week. So if you have zeros or haven't got to a particular learning team activity to submit that, you will have detailed instructions in there, and I will make sure that today's assignment is also listed in there. So when you go to submit, you know exactly what it is you should be submitting. And that was my bad because I should have been doing that all along. But there was some confusion and some questions that came up this last week. And so I just want to make sure that it's clear and it's in there for you. And so there's no question as to what you should be submitting for your learning team activities every week. So we have a team bonding activity, and since it's just you and I, we'll do it. And then the students that are watching the recording, there will be directions at the very end on what you need to do as far as the team bonding activity. So we're going to do a beach ball question and answer. And I'm going to start this and show you how it goes, and then you'll get to do one. So what we're going to do is, can you see the dice roller?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to throw the dice, and it's going to tell me a number. So 17. So I'm going to go back to our Google Slides here and to the next slide. And I need to answer 17. So who is one person that you wish you could meet? I would like to meet my grandmother on my dad's side, my paternal grandmother. She was alive, she was still alive while I was really young. But I have heard so many great stories about her. I would love to meet her because she just sounds like such a cool lady. So I'm going to throw the dice here and we'll see what you get. All right. Question number 12. Question 12. What is something you're embarrassed owning?
Embarrassed owning. There's not really. It's a little embarrassing, but I guess my age maybe, but I own a couple, like those stuffed toys or whatever. So maybe that's really all.
Okay. Stuffed animals, yeah.
Yeah.
That could be. All right, I'm going to throw again. We'll each do one more and then we'll move on. Oh, we already did throw 12, but that can be for me. So something that I'm embarrassed to say that I own. Well, I do have some CDs from the 80s that I still own, and that's kind of embarrassing. But, the 80s music was pretty good. All right, let's throw you one more. Number 15. What was the last book that you read for fun?
The last book that I read for fun was a book called The Things They Carried.
Cool. What was that about?
It's about the war in Vietnam.
Cool.
But yeah, it's really good, but it's a little graphic. So
most war books are.
Yeah.
All right. So, obviously, if there was more of us, this would take a lot longer, but I'm just going to move on. So, as far as resources go, I did put quite a few resources in here for you. One would be to check out the high school seniors resources on the Counselor's Corner page of the school website. And I linked it here so that you can go and check it out. There's a lot of good information on local scholarships there. There's a link here for the FAFSA, the Federal Student Aid, their website. There's also some links to some scholarship search engines. And don't think, that you have to have perfect grades in order to get scholarships. There are a lot of scholarships out there, and there's a lot of scholarships that nobody ever applies for. Some of them have GPA requirements and others don't. Some of them are based on ethnicity. Some of them are based on, do you have anybody else in your family who's went to school, what your parents do. There's a ton of different scholarship criteria. And so these search engines will ask you questions and help to match you with scholarships that you could possibly apply for. And I know that I'm working on some stuff as far as next semester, and we're going to look at some writing like scholarship essays and application letters of application. And so that'll be part of your assignment for next quarter. So you'll have those ready to go when you're sending out your applications. There's also a binder check rubric here that you can click on to see and make sure that you have everything in your binder. And then anybody have any questions? Okay, so those of you that are watching the recording, you need to select 5 of the questions from the team bonding activity on slides 9 through 10, and you're going to post the question and the answer in your learning team hangout. That's what you need to do in order to get the participation points on the live session. You get 30 points for watching the recording, And then you get 50 points for doing whatever activity we did during the learning session. So that is answering those questions on slides 9 and 10 from the beach ball activity. So I'm going to let you go now. Make sure that you get into your learning team and do your learning team assignment, which was do you remember?
To reach out for help or offer help on something Avid related in the Google Hangout.
Okay. All right. So I'll let you do that now, and you have a good week.
You too.
All right. Thanks. Bye. Bye.